Welcome back to my channel, everybody. Welcome back if you are already a subscriber or you're just a person who watches my videos, and welcome if you are new. Here I tell story times. Sometimes my story times are infused with having faith, because that's the thing that worked for me, and I'm sure I'll reach an audience that cares about having faith and believing in something. So sometimes my story times get like a little infused with having faith and having a relationship with God. But let me tell you about how I learned how to say no. I think I'm not on anybody's can you do list. Nobody calls me or texts me and asks me to do anything. And I'm not even saying that's a good thing. I don't know, like, if that's like a good balance to have. But I realized after I said no, I'm not on anybody's can you do this for me, can you do that for me list. So let me tell you how I learned how to do that. I have so many story times about different things that I had to go through on my journey in learning how to say no. And by the way, while I was in those situations, I did not know that is what God was trying to teach me how to do. So he had me literally run across some of the worst people ever, but I just didn't realize it because you guys, we most of the time we look at the world for how we are. So if there's a devious person doing devious things to people, a lot of times they think somebody wants to be doing something devious to them. So in my journey, I've learned how not to lean so much only with my heart, but actually have a balance with making decisions between my head and my heart. Because sometimes if you lead with your heart too much, that will lead you down the wrong road. You'll come across a lot of awful people. But let me tell you guys about how I learned how to say no. Once upon a time, I knew a lady who we were childhood friends. She helped me with a few things. Um, Here and there, I would help her with a few things. And one time she needed help because she didn't work close to home, and she wanted to throw a party for her daughter. So she asked me to do some of the cooking. So I was like, okay, cool, I'll do that. And so she dropped the food off, and then I realized it didn't come with anything. It didn't come with anything, not pans, not any of the, no seasonings, no, like, nothing. She just literally dropped the food off. So I'm like, I know how super busy she is. Like, she has a lot of really awesome ways about her, by the way. So I was like, okay, this is like the food. She bought it in bulk because her daughter's pretty popular, and there were going to be a lot of people. So I had to go and buy. By the way, I really didn't even have money at this time. I had to go and buy everything that I needed to cook this food with. So, and then transport it there to the place where the party was being held. So I tell her, yeah, but I'm not gonna. I didn't want to complain and say like, okay, like, where's everything else? Because I know she has like a million things to do, and she was doing like everything pretty much by herself. But so what happened? This is one of like probably 10 stories that I could tell you, but this was the biggest no-nos. That's why I'm going to tell you guys this story. She asked me to cook, so I cooked for her daughter's party. She had a specially made cake that, was for her daughter's party, and she asked me to go and get the cake. So I'm just like, okay, I'm going to squeeze in that time and, try and be quick enough to cook this, make sure it's done properly, and then pick up the cake. But then she was very busy herself. So she's like, oh, wait, like, I didn't pay for the cake, so can you go to my house and pick up the money and then go and pay for the cake? So I'm like, oh, okay. So then a friend wanted to come with me, so I'm like, okay, like, what was wrong with, like, anybody watching this, like, why do we say yes to every single thing like I'm one person? I'm like, okay. So I bring my friend with me. My friend is like, oh my gosh, I left my my credit card, because you guys, you know how we do. If you switch your pocketbook, your purse, your wallet, whatever, sometimes you can leave some switch out wallets. You'll leave certain cards in there, and maybe you didn't realize you need it. Just whatever. Sometimes that happens. So my friend was like, "Oh wait, I gotta go back to the house and get my credit card." And so I'm like, okay, so now I'm starting to run a little late because now I'm going to the house to pick up the money to pay for the cake. Now I'm dropping my friend back off at her house so she can look for it. She didn't even know what it was, so she can look for her credit card, which I think we had to double back twice. And then she found her card the second time, but now at this time we're running late. What happened? What happened that pushed us back even later? Oh, another lady asked if I could pick her kid up to take her to the party. Like I said, the girl was like, she's popular. So another community friend, I guess I would call her, because we're not friends like you. I think you call and you text your friends, but like another lady from the community that I knew asked if I could pick up her daughter and take her. So now, like you guys, and at this time I'm thinking like, okay, I can do it. So I'm doing all of these things, and like right now I can't even remember every single thing. Okay, and then I'm flying, like every opportunity that I got, I'm like driving fast, to get the girl to the party. The party was not close to our house. It was, oh my gosh, the party was so beautiful. It was really nice. So I finally get there late with the food. Everybody is there waiting. Everyone is there waiting. Because I have the food and I think salad was there, like salad, and somebody made salad. But I have the food and I have the cake, and I have the birthday girl with me and her friend. Everyone is waiting on me, like, oh my gosh, I just felt so terrible. So I finally get there. I look at all the tables. Who do I see? A community full of people that I know who live right in the same area, who could have done some of those things that I was doing, right from the same area, that could have done any number of those running around that I had to do for this girl's party. They're all there waiting and looking at me. So I'm looking at them like, all of y'all are here and nobody, like, so I guess so she only asked me because maybe I'm the only one who's like saying yes to everything. So if that wasn't bad enough, as if that was not bad enough, they're all talking badly about me. They all had, instead of saying like, you know what, we were all we're all coming from pretty much the same area, like when towns are close together, we all could have pitched in, we all could have helped, and and the girls' party could have been on time, we wouldn't have all the guests waiting. They were all talking badly about me. In that moment, you guys, and a few rough things even happened after that. I won't even get into detail on YouTube about it. But once I realized they were all talking badly about me, I have never been in a situation like that ever. And it's been a few years since then, but never again. That taught me. I don't say, if somebody says, nobody does it now, but like ask me for help to do something, and it's that kind of help. Can you cook? They're not dropping anything off with it or any. No. Can you do this? Can you? And then more and more steps was added along to it. And guys, while I was driving, it was during school drop-off time. I was getting caught behind all of the school buses where I had to wait and stop. This day turned out to be the absolute longest day ever, and it put me in such a crunch. It put me in such a, then I was getting home super late. I will never do that again. After that, once I realized all of those ladies were talking badly about me, I learned my lesson. I don't say yes to anybody anymore. And I let there be an awkward silence. It's been a few years since this has happened, but I don't let that. I can't do it. Why can't you do it? You're going that way. You're right over there. I'm not in the headspace to do it. I'm just not gonna do it. Did you ask somebody else? Now I'm probably the last on somebody's list to ask to do things like that. I might not even have made the list now. Like, no one asks me anything now, because I've learned how to say, no, I can't do it. And then there's an awkward silence, awkward stare. I learned how to sit with that really awkward silence. Like, at some point, if you're a person who just says yes, just out of you're just a generous person, you're a genuine person, you would want someone to do that for you, and you find yourself in situations like that where you are breaking your neck to do everything, and then when you finally get to the destination, then everybody's talking about you. Like that, you need to start learning how to say no. It does not feel good initially in the moment, but it feels good when now you actually have time and space for yourself and your family, and you're not under any pressure. And if you didn't do everything exactly right, then the town is not talking about you, or maybe not the town, but just like, smaller inner circles, or just, you guys, I've been in some situations where it doesn't work out to be super nice like that. Not that you're intentionally trying to be super nice so somebody can do something for you. Sometimes naturally you're just that way because you're thinking, why not? I'm right over here. I could do that. That's the way you're thinking, and this is the place where you're coming from. That does not work out. I could tell you guys a million stories about times where I've had to stay with different people to try and get on my feet after my divorce, cleaning people's filthy houses, staying, and then most of the time staying gone, just so that I won't be in their way, and then leaving like super early and then coming back really late. And at the times that I am there, I'm running around vacuuming floors, washing dishes, accepting, like people saying and doing like little digs and things like that. Like, when somebody is trying to, and even if you don't realize it at the time that they're doing it, when you're laying down to go to sleep, it will cross your mind. You're like, well, I wonder what they meant by that. But like getting mistreated like that, and you're already walking on eggshells around people because you don't want to be in those situations. You guys, these situations are trying to teach you something. That's how you start saying no. Sometimes you can't always say no in situations because people will become even more abusive. And hint, you guys, sometimes nice people will even mistreat other nice people if you're being too nice. I've been on that end of the stick and I don't like it. So start slowly. I can't do it. Why can't you do it? You're right there. I just can't. I'm not in that space right now. I'm sorry, I can't. Can someone else do it? No, they can't do it, but you're right over there. Can you? No, I can't do it. Sometimes it can put you in a really awkward or tight or really uncomfortable space to do that. And now I've learned to be like, I can't do it. I can't do it. That I wasn't planning on doing that, so I can't do it. And then so it turns out what usually ends up happening is the person doesn't want to talk to you at all. So really they just filter themselves out of your life. If you're in a situation where you live in a house with people like that, you would just have to remove yourself emotionally. If you can't physically get away from that person, you're gonna have to dial it back a little bit less emotionally. So yeah, that's how I learned to say no. I mean, I have 2 kids and I'm being just railroaded into the ground. Like, is that a saying? But like just in the ground. And then the worst part about it, people will talk badly about you, and like you're like sacrificing your whole life to do these things like it's not worth it. Learn how to say no. That's how I learned to say no. I realized I kept getting in the same similar type situations where now my own schedule's hurting. Now I'm getting my kid to whatever he had to do late just because I'm trying to hold back. And then meanwhile people are doing like little digs on you and taking shots at you and stuff like that. Like, it is not worth it. Please learn how to say no. That's how I learned. I had to learn the hard way. Most of us do have to learn the hard way. And with that being said, you guys, I recorded this video once already and it wasn't recording. I didn't have enough internal space. So my Kim Kardashian, Kanye West video that loaded first. But this one was the original video that I didn't realize, like, once I was talking, that it wasn't even recording. So shout out to all the actual, like, the real YouTubers with like hundreds of thousands of subscribers who, when that happens to them and they have to re-record, and they hit, and they're the ones that do like special effects and they actually edit their videos, and whew, I didn't even want to have to redo this one again, but it wasn't recording. So with that being said, thank you for watching. I hope whoever is the kind, nice person who's saying yes to everything but putting themselves in a squeeze, I hope that you are learning your lesson to start slowly saying no and emotionally moving yourself away from situations like that, because people will dump on you any opportunity you get. With that being said, I'll be back with another story time. Thank you for watching.